The most recent season of Baki just dropped, and one of my favorite lines from the manga has finally been animated. Nobody can beat someone who's having fun. And I talked about this line before, but there's a lot more to it that a lot of people seem to miss, and it actually holds them back from reaching the goals that they truly want for themselves. That Sigma grindset era seems very appealing, but it's not always effective, and it can actually hold you back from reaching something you truly want. Like I mentioned a couple weeks ago when I talked about all the mistakes I made in my 20s that I wish I knew back then, this is one of the things I definitely wish I learned sooner, because once I started implementing these tactics, a lot of the benefits started happening, and I'm like, wow, but what really changed? Now here's the thing, there's something known as the obsession trap, which a lot of people fall into, where it can help you if you're competing in like a sport or anything like that. For example, you know, Mike Tyson was obsessed with boxing, Michael Jordan was obsessed with basketball, Bruce Lee actually has a phenomenal quote on this where he says, "I do not fear the man who practiced 10,000 kicks, I fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times." But when you get into this mindset, you start to realize you are always thinking about the future. You're worrying about future results. You're saying, I cannot be happy until this future thing happens. When your happiness depends on a future achievement, every day is a reminder of what you do not have yet, and then that leads into a secondary issue that I call the pedestal problem. I feel like the majority of the human race has done this, because I know damn sure I have, and majority of my viewers have as well, because I've seen your comments, where you've put so much importance onto something, whatever it may be to you personally, that you've put it on this pedestal. And then this pedestal in your brain is like, once I achieve this thing, I will be happy and satisfied. And that could be like, oh, I'm getting shredded. Oh, I'm gonna win this competition. Oh, I'm gonna hook up with this object of my desire, whatever they may be. I'm gonna, you know, do whatever various thing, insert what it is for you, all right? And all those things can have benefits. All those things can definitely make you feel good in the moment. But this is the trap that a lot of people fall into. They think, once I get this, it's just smooth sailing here and there, but then it's like, wait, why do I feel empty? And this is one of the things I've talked about before, where a lot of people, to seeing your success online, depending on what it may be. Like if you're someone who's like, oh man, well I'm super rich, I'm super good looking, I'm hooking up with all these babes or something like that. If you even attempt to show like, well, I still feel kind of empty and sad or something like that, because other people want what you have, they'll start to go like, well, you shouldn't feel sad. Why would you feel sad? You have all this stuff. I'm suffering right now and you have all this. You don't get any sympathy. You don't get all this stuff. But this is something that happens to a lot of people. You don't realize, all right, just because you attain these certain goals that you thought would make you feel better doesn't mean that they're gonna fill the hole inside of you that a lot of people just don't realize, right? It is such a thing. It's one of those situations where it's like, you can achieve all these certain goals, but if your mindset was not in the proper place for getting them, you're just gonna be like, I still feel empty, and you're gonna feel worse. You're gonna feel worse because you put all your attachment into these certain things that you thought, I for sure this is gonna do it, and they're not helping. And at that point, because you've shown the world like, oh, this is all the success you've accumulated, and you get no sympathy for it, you're gonna feel even more isolated. When you over-attach importance to whatever it is you've put onto your own personal pedestal in your head, you start to live in constant tension. To give you a visual example of this, think of this rubber band for these goggles as you. So, all right, this is you, just normal, regular, but then you have like this thing you want to reach up here. So you go and you're reaching for it. But you notice what's going on? Tension. And when you are right here, you are living in constant tension, and it's just waiting to snap back. So every time it's just like, I really need this, I cannot do this, or I'm just gonna freaking bam, snap back. It's trying to snap you back here, because the way you create tension in your body is just, you're constantly overthinking, you're constantly like, I cannot enjoy this day until I achieve this thing, so you're not even enjoying like these moments right here, you're just thinking of the future, so you're building up all this stress in your body, all this cortisol, you're always constantly comparing and checking things, you're also keeping this mental scoreboard in your head of like, oh, I need to do this, but you're just living a life of just like constant tension, trying to immediately snap back, and that's no good. Now, this is why I love this quote from Baki so much, because Baki is not obsessed with being the strongest right now in the series. He just enjoys fighting. He enjoys training. He enjoys learning new things. And to everyone else, it's just like, oh man, I wonder if he's like really suffering and grueling and all this stuff like that. But no, he's just playing. He's just having a fun time. Like, most people are trying to overdo every single thing to be like, I have to do this, whatever. And Baki is just like, nah, I enjoy the process, and it helps him so much more. And that can actually be very true in real life if you do these certain things. Now, yes, like with all things, there are definitely moments where you have to lock the fuck in and definitely, you know, take it seriously and do that sort of stuff. But then there are also moments where, do you ever realize if you just loosened up a bit, you would have actually performed a lot better, or you would have felt a lot better? And then like, it's just like, huh, yeah, I actually have gotten a lot more progress doing it this way versus when I was putting all this unnecessary pressure on myself. Like, I've talked about this so many times before, like one of the best times you can get in shape is not necessarily putting a lot of pressure on yourself to like, you know, oh, I have to be in shape by summertime. Again, not talking about if you're getting ready for a competition. I'm talking about if you're just like, oh, I want to look better this way. One of the best ways you can do that is just like, okay, yeah, I know I'm hitting my calories. I know I'm like, you know, doing my exercises, which I enjoy. I know I'm being consistent and doing all this stuff, and I'm not necessarily looking at myself in the mirror. And then like one day you just take your shirt off and it's like, wow, okay, because you weren't putting all the excess pressure of, I need my physique to look like this. You were just doing the things that you knew would give it the benefits, but you weren't like over stressing about it. Or the same thing, like I mentioned last week before with that whole thing of like, oh, I'm injured, I feel like I'm ugly because I'm chubby now, and I thought all women care about like ripped bodies and stuff like that. But then that allowed me to just be myself, because I was like, oh, you're obviously not interested in me looking like this. But because I was just able to be calm and be myself, whatever, things went pretty well in that situation with that fine-ass woman. So it's just, you know, various things like that. A lot of times you put a lot of excess pressure onto yourself that you don't realize that you're doing. But when you start to breathe, when you start to just like go, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take my time, enjoy the process. And one of my favorite quotes is, someone who loves to walk will always go farther than someone who's just interested in a destination. But again, the key thing here is not full-on laziness and not full-on grind set, because the internet tends to be hyperbolic in one place or the other. Again, perfect balance of consistency of things you enjoy. So for example, that could be something as simple as, you know what, I really don't feel like doing my cardio on the incline treadmill today, or doing this sort of cardio equipment. Maybe I'll go ride my bike outside. Maybe I'll go on a hike in nature. Maybe I'll go take a dance class. Maybe I'll meet someone. I'll go to a kickboxing class, etc. There are various ways you can get your cardio in that's actually really fun. Same thing with like strength training, all right? I personally love weightlifting. I love calisthenics too, but sometimes you can just do various things, like maybe go pick up some sandbags and throw them, or like, you know, always go to a rock climbing gym, stuff like that. Just play around with different things to physically challenge your body too, that you know you can stay consistent with. Because the problem that a lot of people do is they overrush going on strict diets or really intense workout routines, which can give them great results, but they're not results that are gonna last for a long period of time, versus something that if you do it casually and get yourself built up, those results will last for years effortlessly, because you built them up in a way that you can maintain. And that's a key thing that helps just so many people out. So it's not about being lazy and just like, you know, going into Wally mode. It's about going into, what can I do that stays consistent, allows me to have fun, allows me to want to better myself in a way where I'm not overthinking or putting all this extra pressure on myself, that allows me to live my life and enjoy my time while I'm here, but to do those things consistently. And remember, as always, balance is key. Do not have yourself in this freaking rubber band state. If you're in this state right now, right here, all right, let's see if we can loosen that up a bit. Matter of fact, I am working on a new program. I've been working on it since January, called Slice of Life Fit. I'm very happy. It's been a result of talking to y'all in the comment section, and also talking this, and just because I love slice of life anime and heavy action training anime. So that should be out sometime next month, hopefully. But yeah, no, if you made this far in the video, type Baki Tense down below and tell me, what is something that you are trying to accomplish that you feel like you've been putting a lot of excess pressure on yourself to do, and then maybe like easing up will allow yourself to feel a lot better. Because that is one of the things I've noticed. Sometimes it's just you're adding so much overimportance to something, and a lot of times it's people who aren't even competing in something like that. Like, again, I fully understand if you are an athlete in a competition, you're like, I need to, like, you know, do my best to win and then I can relax or something like like that. But there are sometimes people who are just like, they're doing it for not necessarily something that's going to be that serious and long. And not saying it's not serious, it's more so very, in their mind, they've elevated it to a point that a lot of other people look at and like go, hey, it's okay to take some time, relax, breathe, all that stuff. But anyways, thank you to my patrons on screen right now. I have more videos coming in July. I've been very busy working, but it was something I always want to talk about. Also check out my videos on Baki here where I was talking about, like, you know, why I like that concept even more. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on. Now don't forget, Momentai. So I'm gonna go check out Supergirl right now. And also, Ribbit, the wrong Jax was in that room, all right? You should have tagged me in, bruh.